Hey guys, let me tell you something about closure that your hairdresser will never tell you. But before we jump into it, make sure to check out sosvault.com.ng to prioritize your safety and your security today. But yeah, closure in Python. In Python, we have something called closure, which implements very close or works very closely with something called first class functions. Now, I'm not really going to dive into what first class functions are. If you want me to dig with your needs, you can let me know. But first class functions are functions that you can just assign to a variable. So usually if you have a function, let's say we have a function that returns a sentence or a string, if I'm usually going to assign that function to a variable, I would assign it to the parentheses, and when you run it, you get the whatever string is being returned. But if I'm assigning it as a first class citizen, I'll do this without the parentheses, so the function is not being executed. It's more of like pointing to the function, or I don't know how else to describe it. So if let's say the function's name was add, if I'm calling the add, instead of just calling it like that, I can just call whatever the name of the new variable is and use that new variable as I would the function. But let's get into closure. What is closure? Closure is a function that retains its values or retains what has been executed when it ran in a certain environment, even though the environment no longer exists. It's a nested function that allows the inner function to access what was inside the outer function even after the outer function has already run and ended. For example, let's say we have a function called outer function, so def outer function parentheses your column. Within it, we're going to define a variable name and we're going to assign a value to the name SOSVault. So after we've done this, within this, we're going to define another function that is making it a nested function. We can define this one and call it inner function. So def inner function column parentheses shikena. Within this inner function now, we can now print or return the name, and then we can, when we're done with this, after this, we're going to now close the whole function by returning that inner function. We're now going to assign the outer function to a variable. So whenever we run this variable, even though the function has run its course and gone, it's always going to keep re-executing. I don't know if you understand. I'm going to put a code on the screen so you can get a better visuals about it. But yeah, hopefully that lets you understand closure. If you have any question, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.